Your social profiles suck. Maybe they don't completely suck. But we're going to fix that if they do not perform to their optimal possibility. Welcome to the Marketing Happy Hour. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Christopher Vogelman of drvogelman.com, and what is going to be my coaching program, Fundamental Business Shift. I am full of shift, as you well know. And with us always is...
I'm John Paduchak with Videos Are Social. And of course, we got our big Health Biz Breakthrough Challenge going on here.
It shows over here, but I'll put it down.
Well, it's over there. It's over here. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And then I got Local Marketing Strategies, our community on Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, you down below. What you got going on?
Your social media profiles has room for improvement.
That's for sure.
Yeah, but that doesn't get people's attention.
Yes, it doesn't. Hello, everyone. This is Coach K. I'm an implementation coach. I help entrepreneurs get stuff done. And what I am working on is a program called Implementation Advantage to learn how to simplify getting things done.
That sounds like a big advantage to somebody who takes advantage of you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
that's where it's at.
So where it's at. So last week, where we were at Dean.
Yeah.
And Dean was showing us LinkedIn profiles and changing those LinkedIn profiles by optimizing the copy to get the eyeballs and the fingers clicking away at your profile so that you can actually attract more customers.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your sense of that, John? He actually created yours. Or helped you to create yours.
He did help me create mine. And the thing that was cool about going through that whole process is that it got me thinking in a whole different way. And it was, and we should post the group session because he put our group session online. So somewhere along, I'll post it with our.
Wait, he did what? He posted
on LinkedIn. Yeah. So when Dean did our profiles, we had a group session. There were 4 of us together.
Oh.
And he actually went through and helped us as a group. And what was really cool about that is that the whole group it kind of became a group hive mind.
Got it.
Doing the profiles, which was pretty wild.
The hive mind.
Yeah, we had the hive mind at work. And that was pretty neat. So I think at the end, we got a much better result because everybody's like, yeah, I need that. And I'd like to hear it this way. And so, and Dean's like, yeah, I can work with that. So he's over there feverishly working, writing. And so that I think made it even more fun, but it was a wild process to see. So
I thought one of the things was great too. We actually had Dean on in Clubhouse, sort of like the after party to the Marketing Happy Hour. And he just loved that. He was going to town. He says, you mean to say I can actually get in here, just start a room and start talking?
Yeah.
And I didn't think of him as that much of an extrovert, but apparently he loved the idea of Clubhouse.
Dean is he's an interesting character. So he's somewhere between kind of that. I think he's a lot like me, kind of an introvert masquerading as an extrovert.
That actually would be me in most of my life. Although I do charge up with people. I'm more of a performer than I am necessarily a big time socialite.
Exactly. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor is how do you charge? Recharge, I should say, because I do recharge when I am alone. So that qualifies me as an introvert.
Yes.
But what the common mistake is when we think of introvert, we think that they're not social people.
Right.
I have a lot of friends. I do social events, but by the end of it, I need some alone time to recharge. So the recharge time, I think, is the biggest factor as far as socializing or introvert, extrovert. And I'm glad that Dean liked it. Speaking of Clubhouse, there is going to be another one right after this.
Yeah.
So you betcha. Yeah, for sure.
And what I liked from actually something Dean said on the Clubhouse that I really liked not only his process, but also his approach to his process.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were talking about writing tools and that sort of thing. So first of all, he made it easy. He said, if you want to write a profile, but this also applies to any other piece of marketing, sales page, landing page, and social media profile, what we're talking about. He said, just speak it out and have your voice to be transcribed. And it's, I don't know if you guys know, but we don't need a tool for that. It's completely free if you use Google Docs. You just have to go in there and under the tools, turn on voice typing and start talking, and it transcribes everything that you say. So his process was he would take that transcription, then put it in Grammarly to organize it and put the sentences right, and the punctuations and that sort of thing. Then because he wanted this to be impactful and also the language to be at the 4th grade level, he would take that to the Hemingway app. So first of all, knowing each one of the apps is better at and what they're good at, and how the process, because so far I was thinking I have Grammarly, I don't need Hemingway or this and that. But this whole approach of these are different tools and they can enter the process at this stage, not before that, not after that, and after that. So that the whole setting up the process I really liked. And I also liked his recommendation as far as how to end up with copy to be used on newsletter, landing page, sales page, anywhere. Going through that simple process of just say it first, then clean it up, and then
dumb it down. No.
Yeah, dumb it down, or make it easy to communicate. So,
easy to consume.
Yes.
And it's funny. I've worked that way for years. I would always writing is not my strong suit, and I would always kind of work things out through video, and either take the video, convert it to audio, and run it over to something like an Otter.ai or one of those programs that does the conversions to text. But the great thing now is even Zoom. I know the enterprise version of Zoom does text translation.
Yeah, the enterprise and the educational version of it.
Yeah,
they do the transcription. Yeah,
because I do that a lot and use Zoom for that.
So the transcription becoming more and more available and easier. With you guys know that I also work with this podcast company, and they're on top of what we're talking about as far as transcription. They're also using AI to set that up and do the eventual part of it and really clean it up. And the engine that they have created is doing a really good job on that.
Yes, we've been using AI for a lot of stuff between social media and writing a lot of content and doing research for content. Social media, AI is really coming into our field in a big way.
Yeah. A few years ago, I had some experiences with one of the tools called Monkey Learn. You guys know that one? That was more of a machine learning kind of a thing.
Monkey Learn.
Yeah. So basically, so let me give you the example. So you can say, I'm going to give Monkey Learn a bunch of articles, and I'll rate them based on some sort of a criteria. This was a good one. This was a bad one. This fits, certain criteria. And as you say yes, no to the articles, Monkey Learn is watching what you're doing and going through the thing and developing the algorithm as you make the selections. So learns how you think, and then starts to make guesses. And after it used to be you needed to give it a good number, like, I don't know, 50 or so, but they have done it so well that you don't need to actually select them. It picks it up so quickly. And after that starts just making the selection, whatever the criteria was, based on how you think and how you behaved before. So I used it for rating articles, or when some people add themselves to my email list, determining what is their role and what company they're in, and connected with a bunch of other tools to look at the job titles and that sort of thing. So AI and machine learning is becoming more and more interesting every day.
Yeah,
so monkey Learn see and Monkey Learn do.
Yeah, I guess that's the reason behind the name, right?
There you go.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Try to forget that.
I use hard to forget Monkey Learn at this point. I'm thinking about stock trading. It's just like, monkey trading like a monkey. We just kind of push down whatever the newsletters tell you. So let's talk a little bit about the profiles themselves, because we took a deep dive into LinkedIn, and I think we generally got the idea that you wanted those was it the first 3 lines or first 4 lines that you wanted to be visible?
I think the first 4 lines is kind of key to be the most visible.
Yeah.
When I did my profile, I took the 4 lines that Dean wrote for me, and I used them as my first part. And then I kind of went down, and then we did profiles for for Clubhouse.
House of Clubs.
You helped me with Clubhouse, and I love that. And it was nice because it was kind of a great add-on to what Dina had produced, but different. And so I added that, and it's got all the little emojis and stuff that people like that highlight different things, and I get unique comments about it from time to time, which is kind of funny.
Oh, so more than just the anti-procrastination special.
That was the big one that really gave me a snicker, but yeah, it's pretty funny. You get some pretty good stuff out of it.
What's the story behind anti-procrastination? I don't know that one.
I think I just made it up at one point.
I think, but it is true, you know.
Or did we make it up? Well, I can't remember anymore because it's hard to tell.
We talk a lot about the implementation of things, and
yeah,
right.
Most people don't follow through and move forward on things. And I said,
let's make you the anti-procrastination specialist once we get around to it.
Yeah, and I mean, we all kind of specialize in a specific element of that, of kind of moving people forward past whatever they might be stuck in, whether it's their mindset or technical stuff or whatever it is. We kind of push them to the next step.
Did you guys know that there is actually a procrastinators club somewhere in the States?
They never meet.
Yeah, and you can apply to it, but they get around to your looking at your application. But there is an actual club, a procrastinators club.
I'm sure.
You know, we could create. There's that new app that Gary Vaynerchuk is backing, actually, because he does do some venture capital work, and that's the one called Hi Ho. And John and I last week started creating some Hi Ho profiles. Like we had the RV channel for recreational vehicles and stuff. I think this could be very interesting because it's as if TikTok. What did I tell my wife today? I said it was as if TikTok and Clubhouse had a baby.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you're communicating back and forth with videos in long form content, and it was just fascinating to see that you could actually go up in the chain of who started the conversation and go straight to the top and converse directly with Gary Vaynerchuk or somebody else. They had discussions on crypto, all kinds of things, but there wasn't really their bio when you're looking for a social media profile. The app is fantastic, but the bio limited you to, I almost want to say it's like 150 characters like Twitter does. So you have to really condense things down into something very succinct and eye-catching just with a very few characters.
It's kind of like our, I can't think of the name of it now, but the walkie-talkie like app.
Voxer.
Voxer, thank you. Yes. It's kind of like Voxer. In a way, except you've got the video side of it.
I love Voxer.
And you can, but the thing is, you can meet other people as opposed to going one-to-one on Voxer.
Right.
Does Voxer allow you to do that with talking to groups? I guess it must.
Yeah, well, if you have the paid version, what you can do is called the broadcast.
Yeah,
it's a one-way to a group of people. So you guys in your health biz breakthrough challenge, you can have that, like have a channel that you can just broadcast Voxes to people who are in the channel.
Yeah, we're actually offering that as an upsell once people do take the challenge. So
I always love Voxer coaching, being able to go through and make quick connection to get things answered. I've never been.
I use that. I use that in my coaching. Being more of a listener talker, I basically tell my clients, don't email me. I'm not going to read it and give you.
I won't be.
Yeah.
I won't respond.
So all my clients, all my one-on-one clients, they get unlimited Voxer access to me because it's easy and it's helpful and it's fast. They just send me a message. I think about it, reply, and it goes. So I really take advantage of Voxer in my business. I really like it.
Nice. I'm planning to do much more of that.
See, we talked about Clubhouse a little bit earlier. When you're using Clubhouse bios, oh gosh, I got reflection in here. You only show the first couple lines. I think it's the first 3 lines.
Yeah,
what it is. And then as you start to scroll through, people can look at all. And this is where I got the idea for John's, is doing it similar to a Clubhouse bio.
That's pretty fun.
And then of course, then you have your if I'd been smarter, I would have just enlarged this. I guess I could do it.
It's all right.
Hard to do. Anyway, but you get the general idea that it's there without the graphics on there.
Can I share my screen? I can bring up the mobile interface online and we can talk.
Don't know if you can share your screen. That's a good question. Can he do a screen share?
Sure,
he can.
Yes, he can.
All right. Do I allow him?
You have to bring it up.
I see. Kick from studio. So I'm banned from studio.
Yeah, let me set this up and I'll give it a try. So we can.
Kayvon can share it, and then you can bring it up.
Yeah.
So he can share it. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys keep
share.
talking, and I work on this.
Let-
I could
Share-
too I had
share
it
if you
up there
care.
already, but I can't right now.
Oh, I could do this. See,
You could. Yeah, too much glare.
sorry.
It's hard to find the sweet spot.
It is hard to find the sweet spot.
Yeah, and you're not doing a good job of it. That's
Well, it's because I got sunshine right outside. I got sunshine.
So let's keep talking about profile. Let's step back into the profile run here.
Hey, people are following me on Clubhouse. It's a miracle.
I
So,
know, it's good. But
all right, let's see. Do you have a screen? Come on.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Working on
So
it.
screen sharing.
All right. Let's see. We can also talk about Facebook and Twitter and those places because that seems to be that's a biggie for a lot of people. So when you do your personal profile, I'm curious as to whether you have ever seen this thing. I'm just going to pull up mine for a second. And what concerned me about this is that it is. Oh, there's Kayvon's thing. Good. We'll go back to that. We'll go to this right now.
There you go.
there we go.
So
So what do you want me to do?
who
You
dat?
can bring up my profile if you want.
Yeah, bring up
Okay.
John's.
So
Hey JP,
John.
please explain to
Yep.
me. There you go.
do
PAD. You got a lot of people.
You.
Me.
there you are.
There I am, right there.
Ah, there he is.
Yeah.
See if I can find him.
Okay,
So-
so
there you
John,
go.
why don't you like go over this from top to bottom and like share with us why is each one of those sentences is there? How come you chose those words? And basically explain and analyze the whole thing to us.
I was going to say I would have liked to have chosen all of those words, but Dr. V wrote it for me. So
I'm Casper, the friendly ghostwriter.
Well, first of all, let's look at how long this is. So this is
It's pretty lengthy.
It's lengthy.
this long.
Yeah.
Right.
But
think
do understand that most people in Clubhouse put these really long.
Really long things in.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not that long comparing to some of the other ones that it
No.
was a good length, you know.
No, and
Yeah.
I think it's good if people give you a lot of space to use. You try to use it, try to put your most important stuff first. But if they decide to read on further, make it more in depth so that they learn more and more about you. So obviously, it's got my business name in it.
Yes.
I like the videos are social ninja.
I do too. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like, what it's got what I do. I help coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs create more videos for their business. Most
Yep.
people just don't create enough.
Yep.
Most people know they need to use video, but they don't know where to start. Totally true. You need to know how to incorporate a strategy. I find that's one of the most common things is, they just don't have a strategy for how to use video in their business. And that's probably the biggest place I help them. You want to keep things simple, make it easy to create videos, live streaming, and webinars. Who doesn't, right? So I try to do that in every possible way I can, make it super simple. You're afraid of the technology. That's one of my 4 fears I talk about. So I know that's a key thing to put in there. You need to put your social media platform strategy together. Most people I work with have no social media strategy at all. Half of them don't have a profile filled out for, I don't know, most of the different social media sites. And you know how you go to, like, the biggest example is, how you go to somebody's YouTube channel and you just see a completely blank space. And that's the way, that's the way lots of people are. And then I just keep going further. Why me? I'm an experienced business strategist. I've been doing this for over 25 years. I make complex technology seem simple, and I put them together in powerful ways. I'm a safe and reliable choice. This is something I got from Dean, which is kind of genius, because people want to know, why are you the safe choice? And I go through the different things that I help with. I promise we'll get your social media set up. I'll help you to build a larger local following that you may not have. You may not have even known you could have. Especially working with Ed, I found it's a lot easier to build a local group or a local audience even than it is a national audience. And I've been a person who's worked with people all around the world, from Australia to, I've got something new going on in Malaysia. I mean, I'm everywhere. Simple marketing strategies that you can use to put to work immediately. Aside from working in video, I've worked in a lot of other areas, and I've been doing this for a long time. A lot of us become really good generalists over the years. I want to help you attract more of your perfect customers. In fact, I worked really closely with my friend Jan Stringer, who has a unique strategy to do this. Bit of law of attraction with attracting your perfect customer. Easy solutions, simple stuff.
Just give me. I have a question here.
Yeah.
Is it just random, or is there a strategy behind sometimes starting the sentences with capital or not, or spelling mistakes or that sort of thing? Like I see the I'll help starts with the lowercase I. The next sentence is lowercase s. Then you have a with a track. So
that's called the ghostwriter rushing to create something quickly.
Okay, so there's no strategy behind that.
No,
there was no
other than to get your attention on a Facebook Live.
Yeah,
right. Sometimes it gets people if you spell things incorrectly too. But
yeah, actually, people look for those sometimes. Like
no strategy.
Yeah, because I sometimes intentional spelling mistakes and that sort of thing can get somebody's attention
for copywriting. And they'll respond, for example, in an email. Did you know that you misspelled spelling incorrectly?
It's very true. So, try to keep things simple, step by step, help people get unstuck when things go wrong, because they always do. And that's another common thing, right? We all deal with. Help you stay focused on the 20% of the things that you need to do to get 80% of the results, because there definitely is that. That's something that Andy Jenkins used to say, and it really stuck with me. And I said, I've become that person. I really help people that way. Why I'm different. I know when and where owners often get off the road. The anti-procrastination specialist, help you get unstuck.
Pull them out of the ditch.
Yeah, try to give them a blueprint. So perfect plan. So we both win on it. Easy strategies, tips, and tricks. It's a lot of things we've learned over years, right? It's the hire a professional so you don't have to go through all the hard stuff and learn it yourself.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is necessarily throwing spaghetti against the wall. I just think it's like you're putting
not at all
phrases in there that might resonate with somebody.
Yeah, and I think we started with kind of the top things, and then it really worked into more detail. Works into more detail as you go down the list. The only thing that I didn't do with this, and I will do, is put a call to action in it.
Yeah,
try to get, because I think most profiles everywhere, they don't have some key things. They don't have enough key detail as to what you do. So people walk away and, have no idea who you are. Like, I remember Tony Robbins once saying, you remember the old Nissan commercials with the guy and his dog, little dogs love trucks. And nobody ever really knew what that Nissan commercial was about. They just saw the guy and the dog and so nobody really got that it was about Nissan cars. And I think that's so true. Most people just don't give enough detail about what they do to move them to the next phase or next step.
So I have a question about that. So, some people are, they don't read the whole thing. They just read the first few lines, and some people will go through the whole thing. So are you thinking to have a call to action or a way to connect with you in two places, one near the top, one near the bottom?
Yeah, I would do one higher
and then
one at the bottom. So I'd probably do one a couple lines in, kind of like the rule of websites. You try to get a opt-in in the first upper third,
right,
and call to action, and then you put one down lower.
So maybe right after these green check marks.
Maybe even right before.
Okay.
I might even put something right before, and then right after, and maybe something else at the end.
Got it.
And I'd like to blend in a couple different places that they can get in touch with me, so that it's not just one. I'd probably put the most important one at the top. I might put one that's a little more, like maybe one of my groups or something like that they can come to.
Would you use Twilio so that you know that they came from your Clubhouse profile? You wouldn't.
I could.
If you're call to action.
I suppose I could. I could even use just a tracking link to know that they came from my.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
If I really want to do it that way, there's a lot of ways that I could go around that, but that's not a bad idea. I think anything that you can track or put analytics to is a good thing. So it's always nice to know where people came from. You can always ask people where they came from. I often tell my wife that in her business. I'm like, do you know where that person came from? Or do you know how they found you?
It is so hard to do. I can tell you.
Kind of hard, but it's never hurt to ask. A lot of times you can find out. It's not
people don't know, and because
sometimes they don't know.
It happens so many times. I would get I used to send out a lot of coupons, so I did tons of direct mail, just over a local geographic area. Ooh, that's a big hand when it comes in there like that. And so I would send out these coupons and others, and somebody would say, well, I heard about this doctor. He seems really good. He graduates from a good school and he takes care of problems just like you. So I think you should go see him. And so they would look me up in the Yellow Pages, and they would come in and say to the office staff, yeah, I found you in the Yellow Pages when you talk to him on the phone. And no, they didn't come from the Yellow Pages. They actually came from a referral from somebody else, but there was no way to track the referral.
You know, it's funny, at the end of the day, Ed and I talk about this a lot, but, and he had example, he had a limousine service down in Connecticut, and they were doing all of this display advertising. And the client came back and said, well, Ed, these guys are all clients of ours. But what they don't realize is that it prompts people who see the ad that were customers to invite new people, to book again.
Top of the mind awareness.
It doesn't really matter where the business comes from. If it comes from your existing customers, so much better, right? Who cares?
Well, and if somebody is really obsessed with new customers all the time, or new patients all the time, it's usually because they're blowing them out the door at the other end. And taking care of your existing clients are the best thing in the world. I remember this is back 1991, 92. Right. It cost me on average $350 for every new patient to walk through the door. Now, my average case value is probably around $2,400. So would you spend $350 to make $2,400? The answer is probably yes.
Right.
But it was so expensive to send all that stuff out. But nowadays there's so many easier ways to get people to come in the door. But what I recognized was it was far better to, because for want of any better term, to massage the existing patients to bring referrals, to bring referrals in than it was to find new patients all the time. Right. So, and that's the key, is what are you going to do for your existing customers? So I think Ed's client just missed the boat on that one, because
totally. I think our cost of acquisition for our clients is, it might be $20.
Yeah.
Today, in today's market, and according to Google Places, we get about 4,500 new visitors a month to her site on Google Places. That's not bad.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, people freak out sometimes about the cost of acquisition for each client coming in. But for example, who was it? Was it Justin Brooke was saying that if I could get to the point where it's costing me $150 for every new lead, I think that's great, because I'm locking out all the other people who are only willing to pay $25, $40, or $50.
Yeah. And I think the cost of acquisition should always be compared to same business or same industry of cost of keeping a client.
Correct.
And it seems, based on the industry, it's somewhere between 5 to 7 times more expensive to get a new client rather than keeping a client. So
much more.
Keep them happy. As Rachel Miller would say, you got to love on your people. And she specializes in creating audiences on Facebook and works with Stu McLaren on Tribe and some of those other things. So it's keeping your existing audience happy. So what would you say is important to include in a profile? Do either of you use much in terms of Instagram or Twitter or the Book of Faces that I call Zookbook?
I mean, I'm on everywhere. So I wouldn't say
You're omnipresent, John.
I'm omnipresent. Yeah. I wouldn't say my profiles are perfect everywhere. Everything's a work in progress. So I've put a lot of new focus on making them a lot better everywhere they are, and having better calls to action, or different calls to action, because my business has changed a lot over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
What I really like about your profile is that you finished it with bottom line. Yeah. Because just allows a person like me, who's a skimmer, that to just read the first few lines and then go through it. Right. Because I always look at how long this thing is, an email or an article, or because you obviously want to know, a user wants to know, what's the investment time, attention that I have to put in this thing to read it, right? And having that bottom line at the end got my attention. Nice. I don't know if you want to have, add stars or something else to it to even make it more visible. But I thought that was, because of the good feeling that I got right away, I said that's very good value delivery, because I can just look at the first few lines, read the bottom lines, and I already have most of the information. That's 20% that makes the 80% difference. That's whether or not, if I want to invest more in this, and get to know more about John and that sort of thing. So I think having that bottom line at the end is a very smart move. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it does a lot of things. It gives you a good overview of what I do. I think it gives you a good semblance of what it might be like to work with me in some of the different areas, because I try to highlight some of the specifics. And then, the bottom line just kind of is a nice summary that brings it all together.
Yeah, never underestimate the power of emojis, though, because they really do break up
They
the
really
content.
do.
More than just little dots or numbers or something like that.
And
I'd like to ask you. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, and very few people use them. And you know what they say: if you want to try to not do what everybody else is doing, and try to stand out. And there's a lot of people who really aren't using emojis to make things stand out, and they really do. They help a lot.
I think that's true of LinkedIn too. People are too conservative on LinkedIn.
Oh,
do you guys have a favorite emoji? And you can pick only one.
Not really.
I do. I do.
Do you know?
That guy.
The cool one. The cool one.
Mine is that
cool
mind blown one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Explosion.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. So what my question for both of you, because I do see both of your profile pictures on this page, is what are your thoughts on profile picture?
Oh, man.
Because both of you have just a casual outside, a normal selfie kind of or picture kind of a profile. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm a casual guy.
I am too. I kind of think it fits me better. Every time I did a little experiment, I put me up in a suit on LinkedIn, and my friends were all like, "Get that thing off of there." Literally, they said, just take it down. Put one of your other pictures. You have so many other interesting things that you do. You're always hiking. You live vicariously through you on your RV trips. It's like, put something else up there. It's horrible. Take it down. So that was kind of surprising, because I figured, well, LinkedIn is a little more professional. Why don't I, I'll put up a suit and tie photo that's just kind of casual suit and tie, though, not like too crazy. And they were all like, just get that thing off of there. It's terrible. It just destroys your image, and it's not you. So
okay. So
there you go.
can I push back there a bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are your friends similar avatar to your target market?
No, they're quite a variety, actually, and and all of them. Well, some of them beat on me a little bit. Like if I do a thing like this and I don't wear like a collared shirt, and so they'll kind of get on my case. You're like way too casual. You should like come on live with a collared shirt and all of that. But when it comes to stuff like that, they're very. I find if they thought it would, I think they're very honest. If they thought it would move me or move my needle to look more professional or whatever, they would say that. But I think it's important to portray who you really are.
Yes.
And I am a very casual, outdoorsy, adventurous, kind of guy. And so I think it fits, and it is who I am. So I just kind of stick with it.
Cool.
What are your thoughts about that?
My thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Chris, can you bring up my profile picture, and you guys tell me what you think, then I'll tell you my thoughts.
All right.
Hang on a second. Where am I bringing this up from?
Anywhere. They're all the same.
Okay, anywhere the same. Yeah, I'm trying to be consistent the same too. Let me do this, and then I have to share it. Where is it? Oh, I got to share it again. Gosh darn it. StreamYard. You're making it hard.
I know.
All right, let's go.
Is that Boston accent?
Yeah, it's hard.
A little bit.
Yeah. New Hampshire. So you've got your. This looks like sort of your typical Tehran look, which is the jacket with no tie.
Yeah, casual dress. I think if I was more of a room speaker in front of the room, I would.
There he is, the room speaker.
I would want to look or appear the way that you're appearing here. So that's what I would say about that. I like it. I think it fits for what you do and who you are.
Wait, did you have the soul patch here?
It
Yeah,
was
was it
longer than one. It was like all the way down here, so I could just.
You know what really
This was my focus tool. I just sit down and
You know what
think.
really drives me nuts though, Kayvon?
Yes.
I have so many friends that post pictures of them like 30 years ago, right?
All right.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, brother,
Oh.
you that's you now. So I mean, why don't you just like keep up with the time? And so I often will, and I'll get on them a little bit about that because you know what, aging is a natural thing, and
Yes.
we all look different. I get the biggest abuse over my memoji. You know how everybody makes the little memes of themselves,
Yes. Yes.
and I have one of those little memes of myself, and one of my friends keeps going, why don't people do memes of like what they really are? They're fat, they're balding, they've got all these different things going on.
Yeah.
Why don't they just stay true to life? And I think that's so true of anything that represents kind of who we are.
Well, but
You
this
gotta
is
keep it current.
yeah, this is interesting because Kayvon looks like Kayvon, which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, and I like the fact that you're actually using your personal profile, using this real estate right here that I help overworked up to actually promote. And I don't know if the click here actually works. Maybe it does. Does it work?
No, you don't get that.
Does
But
not
yeah,
work.
when you do that, you come here.
I don't get anything. Okay,
Yeah.
but I like. But this area is one that I was hinting at earlier today, which was this little line that is here that comes across. My program helps entrepreneurs get out of their way and reclaim their time, energy, and effort. This is a really hard one to write for me but I even tried using the emojis in there. Now, when you go to simplify, it takes you there. Now, what's interesting to me is I would actually suggest that it would be nice to have this as your face.
Yeah.
And the reason why is simply because people buy from people.
Yeah.
And this is what I've attempted to do when I go into different places. I try to put the face in here, unless it's a very well-known brand that you're trying to establish. Now, this actually, I mean, I like it a lot. The only challenge I see is that you wind up cutting things off.
Yes.
The executive is cut off, and it's an inset. Inset. So, I mean, for me, I mean, I love the logo. The logo is amazing.
Yeah, I do too.
But I will say that, having your face in there, we'll say, oh, it's Kayvon's company. And the fact that you're all in orange, this is awesome.
Yeah. Orange is my favorite color and brand color. So I'll always use it intentionally everywhere.
Aren't you glad?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you see that two-tone orange? That one is kind of my head is over it. Yeah. It's okay. I saw that somewhere and I really liked it. So I repeated that effect on mine. So it kind of gives it a what do we call it? Depth or perspective kind of a feeling to the profile picture.
Yeah, it's Kayvon in an orange tunnel.
Yeah, and orange and blue. Orange and blue go very well together. So
in fact, the orange and blue thing. Yeah, you can tell on mine. I tend to go for, because I'm starting to. This is a work in progress.
You do a lot of orange and blue.
I like the orange and blue, and I've been playing with it for quite some time. This was all going to change again, by the way, because the branding is definitely a work in progress. And when we came up with, for example, can I get to it from here? Yeah,
I do a lot of
our new group. Well, yeah. So you're listed as video creator. So now this is totally different than I expected out of you.
Yeah, that's my own personal profile.
Right, the personal profile. So then if we go to
who created that meme or cartoon for you? That's gonna give me nightmares tonight.
I know it doesn't quite
fit. I like this better. I would have taken this and popped it in.
That was very old branding. I did that a long time ago.
Okay.
So,
what were we looking for? We're looking for something else. Was it your professional profile?
Yeah, or like even on LinkedIn, Videos of Social has the red and blue.
Oh, it's not here though.
No, it's here. My regular LinkedIn profile has it.
Okay, I'm not in LinkedIn. I gotta switch out tabs and stuff. But I think that, the one thing that's
Yeah, quite a bit
interesting
of
is
red and
this real estate that is here that goes unused by lots of people. This
Right.
area right in there. So what I did was I put in, what did I do on that one?
Yeah, I haven't gone back to my personal Facebook pages and
It's
and
so here, yeah. See, I did the Harvard trained business coach for professionals. I really want to say doctors or healthcare professionals, but when I do healthcare professionals, it cuts me off.
Mm.
So that's really frustrating to do this. Who want more free time, freedom, and funds? I changed it to fun, or maybe I may just change it to financial freedom, more free time and financial freedom. But the thing is, when you try to squeeze this all together, it's really hard.
Yeah,
Whereas in Instagram, it's not so bad.
right.
Instagram gives you more flexibility. In fact, let me see. Maybe I can go to Instagram.
Yeah, and for a lot of those profiles where you're kind of limited in what you can put, you have to be very selective and just say, okay, I've got a couple of lines. Which line in this grouping describes me the best to my clients and the result that I give, and whatever it might be that you think is most important as a decision for them to come and seek you out.
Yeah. So this one, Instagram, is very interesting to me. I mean, mine's a modest type of thing. So I put the same sort of thing: free time, freedom, and fun. But then it gives me opportunity to put more in here.
Yeah.
Work less, make more, enjoy more. Crucial method. I have to change this out because it's no longer the crucial method. It's the.
What I like is that you use exactly the same picture and the same
I try
framing everywhere.
Yeah. And I try to use the same name everywhere. It's Dr. Vogelman everywhere. The only exception, which is really funny, is my YouTube. My YouTube just doesn't have that, and YouTube gets a little crazy sometimes. I think
Facebook, I'm kind of funny. I like to change things around a lot on Facebook. So like everywhere else, I'll look the same, but Facebook, I change a lot. So it's quite different.
And as far as username goes, I also use Dr. K1K, not this guy. Dr. K1K.
That's not him.
There it is, Dr. K1K. See, I like that.
At DRK1K. That's my user, or what do we call it?
Your handle.
Handle. Yeah, that's the word that I was looking for.
Yeah.
That's the same everywhere in Twitter.
But see, you also have some more digital real estate right here that you could take advantage of.
Yeah.
If you chose to. I do like your call to action though. Okay, call. Boom. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, I'm into just few words and that's it, kind of a thing.
Sure.
That's fine. Yeah. I like that. But you've got two calls to action. You've got take an assessment or book a call. And I like your emojis pointing down to here. I don't think most people know that simplified.zone is actually a clickable link. So, but
they don't know it's a website address.
They don't know it's a URL. I think some people might not actually click on it. And that would be my suggestion would be to change that.
HTTP.
I was thinking to add the three W's at the beginning of it. So
yeah, that would actually work. The 3 W's would
that'll work.
Would imply that this is clickable.
It's a link.
But a lot of people don't know all these more exotic URLs.
New extensions. No, it's very true.
LinkedIn fascinates me. Whoa, hangcasting?
Now we are surrounded by him.
That was an old an old thing that I did. So like I said, not everything I have is updated. So I had 2 Instagram profiles.
Are you wearing the same shirt that you're wearing right now?
I am.
That's great.
I'm wearing the same exact thing I'm wearing right now.
Because on my screen I see your picture and that picture side by side. And
people start to go, do you ever wash your clothes or change?
Be like Steve Jobs, where you have an entire closet full of black turtlenecks.
It just happens to be that. Yeah, who would have thought, right?
Our friend Rich Sheffrin does the same thing. He always wears the same.
He's got the black T-shirt at his birthday party here in San Diego. Black T-shirt and jeans.
He once mentioned that, on one of the live streams, he mentioned which brand is it and where he bought it, and he bought 40 of them or something like that. The only time that I didn't see him in one of those, he was wearing a white T-shirt of the same brand and same style. Same thing. But so only once.
Yeah, for a while I went to a stage where I would only wear a blue shirt all the time. I had blue, the style polo shirts, and I would just wear blue all the time.
I got to tell you, I love this photo. We actually did a series. John took a series of photos within in the captain's chair. Is that the captain's chair?
It is a captain's chair
Of the RV. So RV
Yes.
John, and this was the winner by far. And I just cropped it and reduced it. But that's just so John, and it's
It's
he's very approachable and friendly and everything. And I just think that's the kind of picture you need in your profile for people to relate to you
Yeah,
in some way.
you really do want him to be approachable and friendly because
Yeah.
one of my friends, when I did my my little caricature way back, he said, "I hate that thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like you." And Kayvon just said it gives him he can't unsee it.
Gives me the willies.
Yeah. So
Now
that-
your sound has actually decreased, John. I don't know what's happening there.
Something
I
happened
think-
to the microphone cover.
I accidentally spun my mic around.
You spun it around. Don't
Yeah.
spin your mic.
Is that better?
That's great.
Okay.
So who's a popular one that we might see?
Could you go back to mine? I wanted to mention something over there.
Yeah,
because,
we'll go right
because
there,
there
right.
was some thinking. This is my way of approaching this.
Oh,
I'm
this is
going-
interesting to see your posts.
Oh, yes.
Do I follow you? No, I don't. Now I
You
do.
should. There you go. About time, man.
It's whoa! I lost
Where
my
have you
background.
been?
It was
So-
only a matter of time before I lost my background.
Well, you knew it was going to go.
We knew it was going to happen. My problem was the
Yes.
swivel chair.
There
So
you go.
He was trying to be like me.
be like, yeah, I was. Well, no, we actually have two of these, and so we used them. We did a series of promotional videos, at least our attempt at promotional videos, for the Health Biz Breakthrough challenge that we're doing next week for health professionals. And so we always joke about this, and I try to put the same background on periodically, but I can never get it quite right because I just don't have. I mean, part of it is the carpeting, which is one of the things that happens, and it shifts on the carpeting. And the other one is I have a swivel chair, and so I swiveled a little bit and caught it and sent it backwards.
It happens.
Yeah, as far as background, I made sure that I have some space between myself and the bookshelf over there.
Yeah.
That's
So because I'm also a big guy, I'm prone to accident, and I hit everything and break everything and that sort of thing.
Break everything.
Yeah.
So who's the example? I was going to give you an example of a.
I was going to mention something about colors and that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
colors. Yeah.
So one I'm not a graphic designer, but one good hint that I got is because we were talking about like orange and blue go together and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So a quick search in Google, when people want to think about what background or what color combination should I use, a quick Google search on color wheel, and usually the ones that they are right against each other, they are the right match, right? So actually, red and blue, I think they go together, and orange and green and that sort of thing. But you can always go one just beside it. And the other time we were discussing also the color palettes. So that website, Coolers, which is like a different way of
coolers.
Coolers. Yeah, that was a good one for me to use that. Now, on the other hand, we were talking about like how casual the picture should be or not. A few years ago, I took this test that was very helpful to me, and I also recommend everyone to take it. It's on the website, I think it's called howtofascinate.com. It's developed by my friend Sally Hawkshead.
I remember how to fascinate. I took the Fascinate test.
Yes, it's a fantastic test. I always have all of my clients take it. We go over it and that sort of thing. So on that tells you about your two, I forgot what she calls them, your two superpowers, the way that you other people find you fascinating. And my second one, it's called Prestige, which is I always have a little bit of a higher standards for things that I do or other people to work with me. So having, a jacket on or, a polished picture, I find it much more aligned with, the impression that I want to make. And, because fascination test is all about how the world sees you.
Right.
So just taking that test would answer a lot of questions for us as far as how to go about setting up our social media profile, because the whole thing is about how the world sees you. She has actually a book about that, just with that title, How the World Sees You. So those were the thinking behind it, and I thought it's worth mentioning to fix our social media profiles that they might suck.
Well, to unsuck, you can help them to unsuck, so you make your own luck.
Yes.
Without using any other words that rhyme with luck.
Yeah.
Anyway, so one of the things that is interesting to me is that I think of I used to always wear the tie. I wore the white coat. I wore the suit, tie, the whole thing. And then I transitioned into the sport coat with the open, collar shirt.
And hat.
And the hat I don't use all the time. I just use it once in a while when I have the bad hair day or I haven't showered or something like that. But the reality is that my avatar is primarily a doctor, whether it's an allopathic, an MD, a chiropractor, a dentist, a naturopathic doctor, an osteopath who wants to leave practice and enjoy life more.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So with that respect, I have ditched most of my stuff. I probably haven't. The last time I put on a sport coat was for Rich Shefford's birthday.
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah, that was it.
And I think you're also giving them a subliminal message that, I used to be in my practice a lot, and look at me now, much more relaxed, with the hat, with the smile and all of that. So you are giving them the picture of the future that they're
This
probably
could be you.
Yeah, this could be you, kind of a
In
thing.
fact,
So
I am my avatar.
this
that's
works,
the thing.
yeah.
Mine is kind of similar because I used to work as an engineer, product manager in marketing, and every day was suit and tie, and I ditched that and went to a much more casual life. And then I worked, I worked in finance for a while. So
Biggest change for me from being medical and all of that was wearing shorts all the time.
well, there you go.
Yeah. So that was my big change.
And that's a big one.
Show those gams. Just
Oh.
leg. Well, not right
I have
now.
nice calf muscles.
We're not ready for that right now.
Maybe on another call, I do some poses.
Another
There you
call doing poses. Oh my God, that would just impose upon our viewers.
Yeah.
And
We will be
listeners.
banned from all social media.
All social media. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think when we talked about the profiles, to me, like, what do you really want to project? And for I think we've pretty much rounded ourselves up but so Kayvon, your person would be the kind of person who would be wearing the sport coat and the tie, or you just want the tie for the presentations? I think
I
you're
don't
trying
have
to
a tie.
attract somebody.
That was. I was looking for a good picture of me speaking.
Okay.
Right,
Got it.
and I didn't have many of them. So between the two or
Okay.
three that I had, that was a better one that I chose. So it's not necessarily about the tie, and
Right.
specific, and also in that event, I'm not wearing a jacket, just a vest and
A vest,
tie.
yeah.
So that was my, I guess, attire that day, or because I don't think, except it's like a wedding or something, I'm not wearing the whole thing. I prefer not to be too. I guess buttoned up or dressed up, but that's the thing.
Even with a vest, you're far better dressed than I am.
that again rhymes.
It rhymes all the time. even rhyme and time rhyme.
Yes.
So,
So what I was trying to with my profile picture and explanation and colors and few words, I am trying to communicate simplicity, clarity, and practicality, with the undertone of reliability. So those are the things that I'm trying to, ask myself: does this communicate that or not? So knowing our keywords, similar to the ones that John had on top of his. So knowing our keywords, so does everything else, go along with it, or are they actually competing and creating more friction with those keywords? So I like to try to align everything together.
Keep yourself in line. I was just looking over here. I was going to get back to Kayvon K, just to take another peek at this. For those of you who are listening on the future podcast, we're sorry. You can always come back here to the Marketing Happy Hour and look at things. I wanted to bring you back in here again, so we got another look at what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
that getting things done is complicated. No, it's simple. I was thinking about my, my ideal client, and I would imagine them that they are writing that in their notebook. A frustration getting things done is complicated. Then now there is hope, or the kind of work that I can do to help them to cross that out and make it simple. So it's the thinking behind that one. I probably have an updated version of that other value sentence. I help overwork entrepreneurs get back and stay on track. So as you guys said, it's a work in progress. Somebody mentioned put a click here button there, even though on a Facebook cover image it's not clickable, but you saw what happened before. When you clicked on it, took you to that picture, to other page.
It took to the picture, yeah.
Took you to the picture page. Within the description, there was a link there. So it's an extra step, but still takes people deeper into your profile, kind of a thing.
Well, this is they say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And so as you can see, I've been imitating what you've been doing here. But for me, it was starting. I use different fonts and stuff. It says starting an online business is difficult. I crossed it out and I say it's fun.
Yes.
But I'm changing this whole thing now again because I have 5 steps instead of 3. So,
okay.
So I'm just, it's just that's why it's constant and never ending progress. I mean, you can't stay still because the world is constantly moving.
No, and our brains evolve as time goes on too. So I mean, everything is constantly in a state of flux.
I was thinking if you have 5 steps, probably one of those Venn diagram 5 circles thing would work better for you.
Well, I'm not putting a pentagram in there because I might offend some of my Christian friends. I think I'm a satanic worshiper or something like that.
Very, very possibly.
And by the way, that's a positive symbol because it's not about.
I know it's a positive.
It's about
symbol.
protection against Satan and evil.
Just think, the Pentagon in Washington D.C., actually in Arlington, Virginia, across the river from the Capitol, the Pentagon is a 5-sided figure, so I don't mind using that. And I think I got my inspiration, and part of that was from Todd Brown's E5 method. And so I was looking for 5 verbs that could be used, like find, focus, fix, facilitate,
flexibility.
There wasn't fornicate, wasn't in there. I
wasn't thinking that.
Well, I wasn't putting it in there. I think what was the other one? I can't remember, but there were five different verbs. In fact, actually, I think I've got about 9 verbs. I'm trying to distill them down to the 5 that would be most valuable in terms of creating a process or actually a framework for a potential client. So I actually like framework better as a word than method or system. I think framework lets you be a little more creative.
Implies structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whereas method and system imply to me that you must do all these things,
And a process.
If you miss one step, you're out of it. And I don't know if it's very original. I mean, if you look at follow the system, would be similar to like a franchise model, like a McDonald's. You must put the fries in this amount of time. You must serve them this way. You must greet people at the counter this way. Yeah. And that to me seems a little more rigid than most entrepreneurs are willing to do. I mean, it's not, you can still have standard operating procedures.
Yeah. But flexibility too, which could be one of your words. But follow the framework. Not only it has alliteration, but also it implies that a little bit of a customization for your own situation is in a framework that is not in the system.
I think that everyone needs to have things customized. And that comes from healthcare, having remembered that I did a lot of functional medicine, and there's one of my favorite books was called Biochemical Individuality. Mm-hmm. And that even though people had similar genetics, everybody was slightly different in terms of their lab profiles.
Yes.
And so, you just needed to find out what foods are somebody sensitive to and this and that. And after a while, you come to recognize that all entrepreneurs are different. And, some want to be lifestyle entrepreneurs. Some people want 7-figure businesses. Some people won't be happy unless they make $100 million a year and have 150 employees. So you have to be able to change those things, I guess.
And it's important to know, one of the first questions when we're talking about being more productive with my clients, do you want the same amount of results but less work, or do you want to keep the same amount of work but more results? Because they both could be productivity or improved performance, but which one are we talking about here?
I want the work less, make more money one.
That's the advanced version.
That's the advanced version. That actually requires a lot of work to get to that point.
It does indeed.
You got to be a good leader and a good people manager to do that. I mean, I've hired and fired many people in my career. So
is it Clubhouse time?
I think it will be Clubhouse time. I think I've managed to
Happy
mark
hour.
off more than I. Oh, it is. It's 4:00. 4:00 here in the Pacific Coast.
Yes.
Or cave
After
and
party
wine,
time.
you know. And we're gonna head over to Clubhouse. We hope that you have enjoyed today's episode. I think we did cover a lot of ground. It was a lot of fun. I'm wondering how well this is going to translate into the podcast version. But you can always come if you are listening to the podcast, head back over and you can actually see the visuals on the Marketing Happy Hour page on the Book of Faces, or you can actually see this also on YouTube when you come into there. So, any final comments, gentlemen?
I think we pretty much covered it.
Yeah, and I too think we had a good session today.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. And thank you, Dean, for last week, because that was that really opened our eyes to a lot of different things.
For sure.
All right. We'll be back
Okay.
next week at the same bat time, same bat channel, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, here on all these 8 different places where we broadcast. So come on over. And if you have any questions or comments, please enter them down below where you do see this video. Every once in a while, I miss one of you. Like on YouTube, I had to answer something not too long ago. And I do apologize for that because 8 locations means that we have to look in 8 places. But we'll figure that out later as we improve. So we'll see you next week.
And
Okay.
yeah, come join us on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
right now.
come over to Clubhouse. We'll be there. Be there or be square.
Come join the club.